Hi, welcome to Grizzlie Knits. I'm Tracy, and this is my knitting and crocheting podcast. If you're returning, I almost said customer, if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're new, I'm so glad you found me, and I hope you enjoy everything that you see. I'm going to show you all the things that I have finished, all the things I'm working on, and a couple of other news items that I wanted to share with you. I'm in the other part of my craft room. Usually I do it in front of all my yarn wall, but I decided to do something new, and this is where I keep, this is a sewing basket. I don't sew, but it's just, you know, little bits of yarn, thread and things like that. This was my mother-in-law's, and I've got my plants, my little gnome, and this is my wall of project bags. So I have little hooks and I keep them there. And yeah, that's it. But I'm still me. Same old me. Okay, what am I going to show you? I finished a few things that are kind of small, but I wanted to share them with you. First thing is, I showed you last week that I started a ear warmer headband called the Frida. And I will list everything that I talk about below so you can find them yourselves. And I talked about it last podcast, so I won't go into it too much, but I decided to add on some stitches. So I think it was 36 stitches, and I think I did like 48 or something like that. I'll do a Ravelry page on it when I remember. And I put these two yarns together. This is the Drop Sky, and I put it with, this is a yarn ink called Under the Sea. It's fingering, and this is, I think it's just a DK. Does it say? Feels like a DK, and it made the most gorgeous fabric. I finished it and I already gifted it. So I will insert a picture here just to show you the final product. And I loved how it came out. It was really nice. So that was a finished product. What else do I have? I also finished my When Autumn Comes? Autumn Comes. I think it's just called Autumn Comes. Scarf by Lisa Haynes. And so it's just a plain scarf. Well, I mean, I say plain. It's not that plain. It's got a ribbing pattern, and then it comes to a point. You start off here, and then you kind of increase out. It's a really clever pattern, and it's very easy to remember. I really, really like this knit. And then you do it the other way. I think I'm showing you the back. Yeah. So I'm really happy. This is another gift that I wanted for March, so I'm happy that it's done and off the needles, but it's really pretty. And the way you wear it is, well, the picture shows you can do it longer, but the person I'm thinking is like an elderly person, so I don't think they want like the whole big wrapping around like 5 times kind of thing. So it's just like well, it's hard to show you because I'm wearing something else, but okay, I'm doing a very bad job at this. Okay, well, you get the idea. It kind of, okay, it looks much better when I'm not wearing 2 scarves. You get the idea. It kind of goes like this and like that. Anyway, there's a nice picture on the pattern of it all finished up. Okay, that was pointless. The yarn I use, so you're supposed to hold a fingering with kind of a mohair or a silk. So I did Ginger Snap, and this is in their Fairy Dust color, and it's so pretty. It's like this light purple with little specks of color in it. And then I paired it, and this is what I have left. This is Jacquard Kid Sita, and it is kid mohair. And it's very soft. I blocked it, and it's super soft. I liked pairing those together. It was really fun. Okay, What else do I have? All right. So I'm going to talk about my DishAlong. So I'm hosting this year a DishAlong. It's called DishAlong, #DishAlong 2023. And it is encouraging you to use your cotton and make a dishcloth a month. And at the end of the year, you'll have 12 dishcloths to use or gift or whatever you want. And, oh, sorry, just saw something. And this is my February dishcloth. So the pattern I have used for January and February is the same pattern. It's called the Easy Dishcloth by Carolyn Stanton, and it is on the Lovecraft website. So for this one, I used something new, the Estelle Suds yarn, and it's 100% cotton. They don't have colorways, unfortunately. They just have like numbers. This is kind of like a brown-white mix. And I really liked it. I used a 4mm and I could have gone up to a 5. I think it would have been more comfortable on my hands. Cotton is a little bit hard on your hands, but it made a beautiful, like squishy, kind of dense dishcloth. And then I just found some some pink, and I just made a few stripes. So this is my February one, and I haven't started my March one. I think I'm going to do a different pattern, still really simple, because I don't want it to become like a thing. I wanted to just grab it and go and that type of thing. But I'm really enjoying seeing all of your dishcloths. Quite a few people have joined in, and that's really exciting. So when you make your dishcloth or in the process of making your dishcloth, just use that hashtag and then I can see it. So I would like to choose 2 winners right now for something special. My friend Catherine is a photo prop designer, and I met her when I was doing photo props a long time ago. And she got on board with the dishcloth and the DishAlong, and she designed a dishcloth. It's called the Pebbles Dishcloth and her company is Lily B Photo Props. So check them out. She has really cute baby wear, and now she has this dishcloth, and she was so generous to gift 2 patterns to 2 winners. So I thought that was really sweet. So I just randomly pulled 2 winners from my hashtag page. So the first winner is Carly Luke, and the second winner is Cafe Bean Counter Knits. So they both did 2 really nice dishcloths, and if they can contact me, probably through Instagram would be best, and then I can send them to Catherine, and she will gift them the dishcloth patterns. But go check it out. It's very inexpensive. Go check out the Pebbles dishcloth pattern. And she told me she's writing another one for March, so that's fun. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh no, it's not it. It's not it. So there is an Instagram called TheKitchenSinkShop, and they do. It's kind of like a DishAlong, but they do, if you subscribe to their newsletter, which is free, they will send you a pattern every month for a dishcloth. And I spoke to, her name is Garlene, and she is head of the designs and head of the newsletter. And she was so excited to hear that we're doing a DishAlong, and that she wanted you all to know that if you sign up for her newsletter, you'll get more dishcloth patterns. So that's so sweet and so exciting. So again, it's the Kitchen Sink Shop. I will link it all below for you, or write it all below so you can find these people that I talk about. And that's another way. And I know some people are using both hashtags, and I think that's amazing. Double dip, go for it. And that's it. And I will be randomly selecting prizes. I have some yarn for some prizes and some stitch markers for some prizes too. If you'd like to donate anything, if you are a designer yourself, or you're a yarn dyer or anything like that, just reach out. I would love to promote your things on here and use them for prizes. Okay, so that's enough about the DishAlong. What else? Oh, okay, what am I wearing? I am late to the party, as I put on Instagram, but I did a petite knit Sophie scarf. So here it is, and everybody said they're amazing and they're addictive. Not everybody, most people. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I don't know what yarn I used. You can use scraps. You need 28 grams for a small. And I made the small, which like is a nice size. And so as long as you have like a little scale, a kitchen scale, I have a little like, is it a kitchen scale? I don't know. I use it for mailing things and my yarn and everything. And I can do it in grams. So I had like more than enough. It said I had more than enough, but I played a little bit of yarn chicken. That's all I had left. So either I weighed it wrong or I did something wrong, but it turned out right. Because it just did. I loved it. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it. It's clever, but it's like easy. You watch it grow so fast, and then suddenly you're like in the middle, and then you get to decrease, and that even goes faster. I don't know. I really liked it. It's warm. I did it with a really soft scrap I had. I'm thinking this is from my Pearl Soho New York trip that I got some really nice yarns from, 2019, but I can't be sure, but I think so. So it's soft and nice, and I want to make more because you can do them in different colors, and they're just really nice. So that was my other finished object. Okay, so that was it for things that I had finished. And now let's move on to whips. I'm going to show you an old whip, but I was inspired to pull it out again. I almost ripped it out, and I'm like, I'm not ever going to do this. And then I kept seeing, well, I saw the Crazy Sock Ladies. I'll just say it's a granny stripe blanket. I saw hers. I saw Knitty Natties. Now I started one years ago. Not years, maybe like a year, more than a year, probably 2 years ago. And I really lost steam. Like I don't pick it up much. So I thought I'm going to pick it up and see how I feel. And if it brings me joy, I'm going to work on it and make it like into the routine. And if it doesn't, I'm going to rip it out, and that's fine. So I did, and I'm back in love. And let me show you it. It's just down here. So I keep it in this cute little wooden box, which is not practical at all. Oh, sorry. Sally's barking because it's lunchtime. He's just reminding us that it is lunchtime. That'll go away as soon as he's fed. Yeah, so these sometimes fall out, but I don't know, something about this, it's so pretty. Anyway, so I'm using scraps. So this is it so far. I don't even remember how many I put on, but I think it's just the average amount that people put on. And this is it. It's so pretty. And I'm having a lot of fun because I'm just randomly pulling out colors. So it's a little wilder than my neutral palette, let's just say. But it works, and it's so nice. So I'm just doing plain granny stripe, nothing fancy. And these are, the hook I'm using, I use a bigger hook than a lot of people. So either I'm a tight crocheter, and I need that. I don't know why, but I use a 4.5. And for fingering, that's really big, but I love the fabric it gives. And I'm using scraps. Let me just try to show you a little bit of those. A couple of years ago, I did the Row 1 subscription. I loved that subscription. That was one of my favorites. And I have a lot of the little Row 1s left. And then I just have like little scraps. And I'm just using it, and if it runs out in the middle, I start the next one. So I'm not being too like crazy about anything, and I'm just having fun and trying to put every week some rows in, and there's no timeline. When it gets done, it gets done. But it's pretty. So I worked on that a little bit. And then I guess we'll stay in the theme of blankets. I am making a scrap worsted granny square blanket. So here they are, and that is just plain round and round granny square, and I'm always ending it with white. And I think I have about 10 now. I'm trying to stay in some sort of color palette, like more of the softer colors. And it takes me, I'm just slow. I'm not a fast knitter. People think, oh, she's so fast. No, I'm a slow knitter and an even slower crocheter. It takes me about an hour to make one. Maybe not an hour. Maybe I'm exaggerating. It takes me a chunk of time. I can't whip this off in like 10 minutes. But that's okay. So I'm keeping my like worsted scraps in here, some of them, and then I'm adding as I see things around my craft room and whatever, I'm just adding, and then I'm ending in white. And I don't know how I'm joining this. Nitty Natty has a new tutorial out on her joining method. I might look that up. I have not found a joining method I'm in love with over the years, so I'm going to keep looking. And if the worst comes to worst, I might just sew it. I'm okay with that too. Whatever makes the best edge, I will do. And I think I'm doing it in white, but I'm also toying with a gray color, but I haven't decided on that yet. So that are the two blankets that are getting some love. Okay, what else am I working on? I have 2 new things. No, I have 3 new things. Okay, let's start with new things. So last time I finished my DK socks, and I'm really loving making DK socks. So living in my Noble Character Crafts bag, I pulled out this gray that I had. It's a DK, and I've never used this company before. It's Super, I don't know, I think I'm saying it wrong. Skywave. Superba. Okay, I'm saying it wrong. I don't know. Here, I'll show you so you can correct me. Again, it has no color. It just has a number, but it's like a gray, and then there's a bit of blue in there. So I started. Wait. Oh, I had another gray. Oh, don't tell me I lost that gray. Okay, don't see it. I started Rose Opal Knits DK recipe again, like I did before, because I really liked it. So I did a little bit of, it's kind of like a greeny blue, and then the gray, and then this. This is one of them where I am. And I'm doing it on 3.25 millimeter needles, magic loop. And here's the other one. That's where I am. So I'll do this, and then I'll do a heel flap and gusset, and yeah. They're not going as quickly as the other ones. I think I'm just not giving them as much time because I have 2 things I'm pretty excited about, which I'll show you in a minute. That's getting a little bit more of my attention, but it's nice to have them here. Oh, and then for the heels, the heel, I'm doing it in this purple. I thought that was really pretty. I don't know where this is from, to be honest, but I thought it just, I don't know, some fun. But I've worn the DK red ones that I made last week, and they are the best. I love them. So bring on all the DK socks. So happy with that. Okay, so I have 2 new cast-ons. I don't think I showed you any cast-on sweaters last time because I've been having some bad luck with sweaters. I guess it's not bad luck, it's me, but things just have not been working out for me with sweaters, which is sad because I really need sweaters. Like it is, I can't even tell you how cold it is here. Last night was -30. I could not warm up, and I need all the sweaters. So I had some yarn that I bought last year and I've been saving it. Oh, and this year I am not saving things. I've gotten into this habit, like it's too good to use. That's ridiculous. This is yarn. I knit. Why am I just like collecting this yarn and having it sit? So no. I am using the yarn, using the good stuff. So with that being said, this is good stuff. This is DK. I got it at the Knitting Loft in Toronto, and it's Feisty Fibers. It's rockin' DK, so cute, and it's in the color Dirty Martini. So it's this like green, olivey green color with some different tones of green. So pretty. And I got enough to make a sweater. This was last January. So I thought, this is gonna happen. So now, what pattern? So I saw this pattern and I still don't know if it was the best choice. But we're too far in. We're too far in. Does anyone else have teeth marks on the patterns from their little pets? That's Dean. I saw him gnawing on this the other day. Okay. It is called, it's by Jessie Maed Designs, and it is her new pattern. Oh, where's the picture? What's going on? Oh, here it is. The Northwoods V-neck. So this is the picture. The thing that attracted me was how boxy it is, and I like that V-neck. I thought that's super pretty. I like a V-neck. I think I'm wearing one now. Yeah, I'm wearing a V-neck, and I think they're really nice. So I bought the pattern and thought things are going to be good. And okay, I'm not a new knitter, but I do realize I'm lacking experience with doing things in different ways. Like, I think because for so long, I just did scarves and hats and cowls and with chunky yarn, because that's what I sold on my Etsy shop, that I really don't have a ton of experience with like sweaters and shaping things and, you know, that type of thing. So in that way, I'm kind of new. So when I cast this on, honestly, I was like, I don't understand it. Like, and she is an amazing designer and she's clear and I didn't get it. And I'm like, crap, I just bought this, and her patterns are not inexpensive. I mean, they're really, really good, but they're not inexpensive. And I'm like, oh, you know, I'm just so psyched to do this and I don't get it. So because, okay, well, maybe let me show you a visual of it so far, and you'll see this is a little bit different than I'm used to, at least. So you're basically you're starting with the back. Okay, so you knit the back. Here's the back. So you knit the back and then you're picking up. I am not great at picking up. I had to watch some videos and I had to do it a few times, because if you pick up and it's a little bit messy, you're going to see that. Like, it's boom, it's right here. So I had to like work on that. I think I did okay after a few times. And then you're picking up and then you're knitting and you're making a V, right? So you're making a V on one side and you're making a V on the other side. And after, it was like a puzzle. Like, I had to read the instructions 3 or 4 times. And then suddenly it like clicks. And then you're like, wow, that's really clear. but I had to get on the struggle bus first. And it seems that is what's happening with this sweater so far. So I would say it's not for beginners, but it is definitely like, if you dive into it, you'll be like, wow, this is so cool. And she is such an incredible designer. Like, I wouldn't know how to put this together. So now I'm following better. So I'm at the point where I'm going to, oh, and I did not do my V as deep as she says, and she does give you instructions what to do if you don't want your V as deep. Oh, I'm wearing that. No, I have another V sweater, and I think I measured from here to here is 10 inches. So that's how I like my V. I don't want it like way down here. So I did modify that so far. And then I decided now I'm just smooth sailing, because once I connect that, I'm just going straight knitting, right? So I thought, no, while I'm like in this mood to learn, I'm going to put on a sleeve. So what happened was I put on this sleeve, and for some reason, and I have the yarn here, you know how they say to change your yarn like every other row? Well, I don't do that. I do love I like pooling. I like seeing how the yarn plays together in the colors. And it's okay if there's a section that's a little bit darker. I like that. But what was happening was, so this was all one ball, and this was, I wound up another ball, and I started the sleeve, and for some reason it was so much darker, which I wouldn't mind if like the top of this sleeve is dark and the top of this sleeve is dark. But what I don't want is one sleeve dark and the other sleeve is not dark. Like that will bother me. So I decided, okay, screw that. I'm going to stop this ball of yarn and wind up another ball, which is exactly like this. So I hope this all makes sense. Anyway, picked up my stitches and they looked horrible. I was like, they look messy and I don't like it. So I pulled them out and started again. And now they look better. So I'm happy that I'm at least slowing down with this sweater. Like, as much as I want a sweater, I'm slowing down with, okay, I have to be happy with this. So like, no rush. If it doesn't look good, pull it out, redo it. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm happy. So this is my sleeve so far. And what I think I'm going to do is stop here, and I'm going to pick up my other sleeve with that same yarn. So I have the colors at least at the top matching. And then I can always use the darker one for, like, you know, the ribbing and the ribbing here and the ribbing at the sleeves. Like, that'll be really nice. I think what's going to give me a run for my money is picking up all the stitches for the ribbing, because that's got to look neat too, or that's right in your face. Anyway, I'm enjoying it. After all the complaining, I'm enjoying it. It's just, it's a challenge for me. So that's okay. Hey, that's all right. I think my next sweater is going to be a bit easier, just so I can breathe a little bit, because this one is a little bit of learning curves for me, but that's okay. It's if it fits how I think it's going to be great. And I would do it again in the stripes. She shows most of them are in the stripes, which I absolutely love, but I just thought, like, to learn so many new things for me and keep track of my stripes, I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm happy that I chose a solid, and then we'll go from there. If I'm ever going to do this again, I think I would definitely do the stripes. So that is the Northwoods V-neck by Jessie Maed Designs. Wish me luck. All right. And then I decided to cast on one more thing. And I have to say, the next thing I'm going to show you is probably the most fun project I have worked on for a long time. Like, everything's been nice and I'm enjoying all my knitting, but this takes it up a notch. So I've had this in my queue for a while, the pattern. I bought it, I think, when it was on sale, and I just never used it. I never did anything with it. So you're all going to know it. It is the Nightshift by Andrea Mowry. And it is so much fun. So for yarns, because it's all about the yarn for this one. All about the colors and the yarn. Well, let me just show you where I'm at, and then I can talk about the yarn. This is it so far. Oh, I love it. Is this not like crazy? It's super easy. Very easy. You just have to pay attention. I'll tell you how I do that in a minute in case you want to do this, or maybe you've done it. But so you always have a color A, and then you bring in color B, color C, color D, like that. Now she uses spin cycle in her beautiful example. That ain't happening. I would love to do that in spin cycle. That ain't happening. So I did buy from the Knitting Loft. So this was, I bought this again in last January, and I've been keeping it. I bought a ball of the Noro, and this is the Enka, or Nora Enka. So it's got all the colors in it. It's incredibly soft, beautiful yarn. And it's like a worsted, I would say. Yeah, I'd say it's like a light worsted, probably a light worsted. It doesn't really say on it, but I know a lot of people have used this yarn to do the Nightshift. So really, I mean, a lot of people have bought 2 balls of this, and then that's their Nightshift. But, you know, price-wise, this wasn't cheap. So I bought 1 of these, and then I thought I'll use scraps for all the other colors and see how that goes. So as you can see, that's the beautiful background of this so far. And I started with, my first color was this purple. And I don't really know many of these scraps. They're just in my bin. So these will make another appearance, if you know what I mean, like later on in the shawl. Then I had, this was left over from my love note that I wore in last week's podcast. It's a Peter Pan DK. It's really, really nice. So it's fluffy. Like, you can really have fun with this pattern and use all sorts of stuff. So the white is this, the fluffy. And then now I'm on this purple. So I have a lighter purple. And my other plans, I thought this yellow was really pretty. Not really a big yellow person, but I think it's going to be really nice. And what else do we have? This bluey green with little specks in it. I thought that would be nice. And this gray. So I keep track of everything with my little clicker, and just keep track of my rows that way. But it's a super simple pattern. Just have to keep track. But it's so engaging because you just want to add on that next color and see how the colors are dancing together. And I absolutely love it. And I think when it's blocked out, it's just going to be like such a beautiful piece to wear. So I've really been enjoying that. And that's it. So those are the things I've been actively working on. I'm not giving myself like strict, this has got to be done by this and this got to be done by that. I'm really not. I thought I was. If you look at maybe even 2 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, my podcast, I'm like, I only want one sweater at a time. I only want one shawl. I'm kind of trying to keep that just because I know me and I just want to cast on everything, and I'll have like 5 shawls started, and I really don't want that. But at the same time, I'm just like having fun, a lot of fun with my knits. Like I'm excited. Like when I sit down and it's knitting time, I'm like, oh, what can I work on? Like I like this, but I like that, but I like that. So that's always fun. Yeah, that's about it. I hope you're having fun with your knitting or your crocheting and just enjoying everything that you do and all the joy and the peace that making brings you, because that's why we do this. And thank you for your comments. And if you have any questions or just want to say hi, please leave a comment down below. And if not, I will see you soon. And I will post things on Instagram, so please follow me there on GrizzlieKnits and say hi. And I'd love to see what you're working on as well. So take care, everyone. Bye-bye.